Trying to beat the goal. Boy, yo, boy, yo.
Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is Brock, Cooking Saucy, and today I'm bringing you guys another Nuke gameplay, and it's not just any Nuke gameplay. It's how to get your first Nuke tips, or even how to, if you're struggling, how to get a Nuke, how to keep getting more nukes. If you already have one, but you just love getting a nuke, so you want to just drop some more. So yeah, this is my new video and my nuke tip video. So to start off, the first tip I have for you guys is to play for your advanced UAV, and I cannot stress this enough. This is probably the biggest thing for when you're going for a nuke. Make sure that you are playing for that advanced UAV, and this is probably the biggest part because advanced UAV is so crucial for when you're going for a nuke. Even when you're just going for a high kill streak, it's so crucial because it literally, especially if you're using advanced overseer, it gives you their exact position, and that is very helpful because now you know what direction they're coming from. Maybe now you know if a kill. So say you're on the right side of the map, you can tell if they're spawning on the right side of the map and they're coming towards you. Maybe you can back up, or you can like find a little safe spot to pick them all off Or maybe some kids are trying to rush the middle, and then maybe there's a kid who's going to the left trying to flank around. That is an important part of the advanced UAV, knowing what direction they're going to and where they're going. And I cannot stress this enough. Like I said, this part is very important. Now if you don't have an advanced UAV unlocked, you can just run a UAV in a counter. Now you can like run like a warden, but you kind of want to just be cycling through the UAV and the counter since you don't have an advanced UAV to use, and that way you're not really just, I'm trying to figure out a way, like, that way you're not really getting something you don't really need, because you're not going to use a warden if you're going for nukes. You can, maybe your team's down, you want to just have a warden just in case you're down by a lot. That's okay, but if you're like, maybe it's like 50 kills in the game, and maybe you're still on a kill streak, and you don't want to call that warden in because it might take a lot of the kills, or your teammates, it might take a lot of kills, stuff like that. So make sure if you're using an advanced UAV, and if you don't have an advanced UAV, try at least just running a UAV encounter. Those are two tips. That's the tip I have right there for you guys. On to tip number 2. So on to the second tip. Now my second tip is also really important. It may not be the most important, but it's pretty crucial to getting a nuke, and that is your aim. Now your aim is a big part to going for nukes. If you're having shaky aim, which you probably might have shaky aim, especially on like a 15, because your adrenaline is worsened, and now you're like you getting butterflies in your stomach, so your aim might be a little bit shaky. But I tell you right now, you have to get rid of that adrenaline. I mean, you don't have to get rid of it, but make sure your aim is still steady, because if it isn't steady, you might end up shaking up your aim, and you could lose a crucial gunfight like that. Now, me personally, I kind of got used to the feeling. Maybe after your first 5-10 nukes, the feeling of being really nervous should go away, unless you're going against like a really skillful player, a couple skillful players, and you're like worried you're gonna die by them. But yeah, make sure your aim is right. Play on the right sensitivity. I know some people like to play on higher sensitivity, like 7, 8. But if you have like shaky aim and it doesn't work out for you, I suggest you either use a 6, maybe not even a 6, go down to like a 5 or 4. You can use a 3, but that's getting a little bit too slow. Well, maybe you gotta turn around, okay, something like that. But yeah, sensitivity is crucial, and your aim is crucial. Now we're going on to the next clip. Now this next tip a lot of people, it's basically you actually probably have to do this unless you have like kids who are very very bad. So basically, what this tip is run outskirts. Now, running outskirts may not be the easiest thing. I mean, it's easy, but like you want to get kills, and so you may want to rush out. Like on this map precinct, so many people rush the little middle building. It's not even funny. Like they camp in corners, they get in the head glitch. On a map like this, especially when you're going for a nuke, unless you're holding the middle down yourself, don't rush middle. Maybe if you're one kill off, maybe pick them off from the outside. That's the best thing, like on a map like this. But 100% do not rush middle. Just play on them outskirts and try your hardest to stay on the outside. If you go inside, there's a lot of kids who like to camp in corners. There's a lot of kids who just rush out. There's a lot of random people who run in groups and stuff like that. So run the outskirts, cause typically you don't want to get in a gunfight. You really want to kill them from behind. But if you have to get in a gunfight, you do. But typically you want to kill them from behind. So you always got to be prepared to get in the actual gunfight. But you really always want to kill them from behind. Like I said about 3 times in each subset. Oh, now that is the third tip. Now this next tip is it's not essential, but it's kind of like your personal preference. Now me, I kind of like in this game. Typically for me, I think the person who is kind of in the air usually wins the gunfight. The person who is actually kind of jumping around usually wins the gunfight. That's me. That's what I usually think. And I think this because think of it. If you're just like kind of standing on the ground on most of the gunfights, there might be a chance you go against a gun like say I'm using an MV4. If I'm using an MV4 and I get in a gunfight with like a K-bar, if I'm at least like medium range, and that he might not be the best, but he might have like a little bit of gun skill, then you might want to be in the air. Because if you're in the air, then you have a better chance of throwing off his aim and not making him have to aim up, and that way you can have a better chance to win the gunfight. So I'll say when you're in the air, there's probably like, if you're like moving around the air and the kids aren't that good, there's probably about like I say like a 20% chance you die. That just depends on what gun they have. Like, see, he had a what is Steel Dragon, I think it's called, and I beat him because I was in the air. So make sure you might want to be in the air running wall runs and stuff like that, because it makes it easier. And I use stick and move. I use stick and move because it's easier and I don't have a scuff. I know a lot of people like to play tactical, default, but stick and move might be the way to go, at least for Infinite Warfare, if you don't have a scuff, because you can jump around the air. It's like you're using a scuff, and it gets easier to get. It's easy to adapt to, and for me, it actually improved my aim because I get to keep my right thumb on the right stick, and now I don't have to now my aim is kind of better because for me, when I'm jumping up in the air and sometimes my aim gets off because I gotta jump and then move my stuff like that. So yeah, probably want to switch to stick and move. And I got one last tip for you guys. So this last tip is for you to. So this last tip is basically probably the most obvious thing. Play smart. For me, I choked so many nukes. I'd probably have about 700, about 100. If I'm completely honest, I could probably have like 100 nukes if I played more smart. Like, you can see my brutal. I mean, not my brutal. You can see like my relentless, my relentless, my ruthless, and my merciless medals, and you will be surprised on how many I have. And usually every time I get those, I'm running a nuke weapon because really the only thing I play this game for is nukes now. So just play it smart. So yeah, that's my last tip for you guys. And now only thing that I have to say is thank you guys so much for 50 subs. We are at 58 subs and we're 2 away from 60. I can't wait till we hit 100 subs. I know we can do it. I know it can happen. I'm on a grind this week to just upload every day. When I get 100 subs, I'm thinking about doing a giveaway for Xbox, maybe PS4. I can't do both, but it'll be for one of them. But I literally cannot wait. I really am just so excited. And when I hit 100 subs, I know I'm gonna try my hardest to do a giveaway. Now I'm gonna be more active. I haven't posted in 3 weeks. I've been struggling to get gameplay. Not getting gameplay, but on what to upload. I haven't gotten a new one yet, but I know what I'm gonna start posting now. I got a video for tomorrow already edited and stuff. Uploading every single day this week unless I say in my next video otherwise, because I might do something someday. So yeah, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're newer on that road to 65 subs now. That's my new goal for at least by next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, 65 subs. I'm still not waiting to 100 subs. I'm gonna leave a link to my man Rose there to 11 I believe, off 1,000 subs. Yeah, leave a like.